what if they run out? What if it gets discontinued? What if it sells out? Or what if for some unforeseen reason, I'm not able to have this bottle in my collection again? I have to get it back up. Here. So today I'm going to be talking about backup perfumes. Perfumes in my collection that I loved so much or that I got so panicky about that I went ahead and bought a backup bottle. So if you're interested in seeing those perfumes, then keep watching. So let's talk first about the one that I backed up not because of any type of panicking. Go ahead and tell you I don't really smell caramel in this. So this is what the bottle looks like. I got my first bottle of this from TJ Maxx, I think. TJ Maxx, Ross Dress for Less, Marshalls, one of those. Back in the day, I was big into discount shopping when it came to perfume. But I first encountered this through my membership in Scentbox. I have a Scentbox account. I no longer get the samples sent to me each month, but my account is active because every once in a while there's a perfume I want to try, and if Scentbox has it, then I order it from them. But when I first got it from them as a sample vial or travel spray, I loved it so much that I knew I wanted it. I wasn't at a point where I could just go, oh, I love that, I'll buy it today, I'll just order it off the internet, I'll just call Burberry directly and get it. No, that wasn't me, and I don't know if I'm at the point now where I can just call Burberry directly. But I did keep in mind this scent, and I reminded myself that if ever you see it, get it. And I did see it at Ross or one of those other places. So if I just describe this for myself, this is very fresh, obviously, because the top notes are very much centered around your citrus fruits with a sprinkling of your sweet fruits like peach and passion fruit. And I can attest to the fact that the sweetness is there. It's not just citric, it's also citric and sweet. And then on first spray, I can tell the floral notes are there, and I can also tell that it has enough depth and base to it in the base notes to last. The base notes are pretty much centered around musk, wood, resins, just your typical, I guess, heavy notes to give a perfume some weight. I will say that from my experience wearing this, the scent pretty much stays the same throughout the wear for me. Once I spray it and smell it, that's pretty much what I smell all day. It lasts a long time. It projects pretty far. The sillage is pretty nice. I get compliments on this. This one, out of everything I have in this collection today, I will say this one is the top compliment getter. People really enjoy this. And it's almost surprising because it's so inexpensive. If you buy it for the suggested retail price, it's not that inexpensive. It's not disgustingly expensive, but it's not cheap. But you can find this for a really inexpensive price if you pay attention to stores like Ross Dress for Less, TJ Maxx, if you pay attention to online sites like Fragrance.net, maybe even Joma Shop. Joma Shop is my new baby as far as shopping online goes when it comes to perfume. But my point is that this one isn't hard to find for an inexpensive price. So the reason I ended up getting a backup bottle of this is because my crazy behind gave this away. There was a young lady in my church who smelled this and she loved it. So I went ahead and gave her the bottle because I thought, well, I have plenty of perfumes, I won't miss it. Lies. I missed it. So I did immediately replace it, and then I got a backup bottle, mostly because I happened to see it again. I think when I went to replace this, I saw that there was a second bottle, and at first I was like, no, you don't need it. But then I went back and I got the second bottle. So now I have 2 bottles of this because to me, this is a staple perfume. This is the type of perfume that is timeless. I don't think when you smell this, there's any type of age association with this. It's not like anyone smells this and goes, oh, you smell like my grandmother. Or will anyone smell this and go, oh, you smell like my 12-year-old daughter. They may if they know someone specifically in those age ranges who wear this, but what I'm saying is this isn't a smell that on its own, in my opinion, you associate with an age. It's just a quintessential, anybody can wear this type of scent. Yes, it's fresh and pretty and it has some youthfulness to it, but it's not immature, it's not childish. It's the nice balance, well-balanced perfume. It doesn't give off any type of connotations, in my opinion, that can be negative. Even though I don't think it's a negative connotation for a perfume to be associated with an older woman. I'm an older woman. I don't think it's negative for a perfume to be associated with a younger woman or a young lady. I can be young at heart. But my basic point is, even though I've already said this and I'm rambling, anybody can wear this. So that's why I keep it in my collection, because if ever I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't know what to wear, this is so easy to wear. This is one of those perfumes that I probably should start keeping out on my bedside table, just so it can be easy to reach for if ever I'm having one of those days where I don't know what to wear. This is a perfume that I think you should probably keep on your vanity, or just wherever you keep your perfumes that you want to be able to reach easily for those times when you can't think. Let's go to the next perfume. So the next perfume that I have two bottles of is Alien Eau de Parfum from the house of Mugler. Okay, when I smell this, I just immediately think, if I'm wearing this, no one can tell me anything about anything. I don't care if it is the PhD expert on rocket science. When I'm wearing this, he cannot tell me about rocket science. I know way more about rocket science than you do. That's just the attitude I'm having when I wear this. This just smells very much like a woman who is so self-assured that she borders on being annoying. Of course, when I wear this, I try not to be that woman. I am who I am all the time. But the thing that makes fragrance wearing so fun, or fragrance collecting so fun, is that each time you wear a different scent, you feel like you're engaging in a little bit of role play. I'm not talking about the risque kind, unless that's what you do. I don't judge you. But basically, you just feel like a different person with each scent. And this one just makes me feel like someone who is in control, someone who is assertive, someone who is assured, confident, and also someone who is older. This doesn't smell like something that a 12-year-old wear. If I smelled this on a 12-year-old, I would be so confused. But to describe the scent, even though the notes are jasmine, woodsy notes, and amber, those are the only notes listed, this to me is very much giving grapes. It's grapes of some kind, which makes sense why they chose a purple bottle. So this may have orange blossom. Is that it? Orange blossom. I think it's orange blossom that can sometimes give off that grapey note, or sometimes when it's orange blossom combined with other white florals like tuberose or jasmine, the effect can create that grape juice smell. And that's what this smells like. It gives off a fizzy, grapey smell, almost as if it is a grape soda that's flavored with actual grape juice instead of just grape flavor. Because most grape sodas are just flavored with artificial flavor. But this smells like sparkling grape juice. Duh. That's what it is. Grape juice, 100% grape juice that's been made sparkling. But I love this. The lasting power on this is intense. The original formulation apparently was way more intense and beastly. I have a more recent formulation, but I went ahead and got a backup bottle. I actually got this backup bottle not really in any type of panic or paranoia about not being able to access this perfume. Basically, the first bottle I got of this was a more recent formulation, but I've always wanted to experience the older formulation of Alien, and there were rumors going around that Walgreens was selling bottles of Alien that were an older formulation. In my fragrance groups on Facebook, that's what everybody was saying. So I went to Walgreens, I saw Alien. I realized just from the packaging it wasn't an older formulation, but by then I had already made someone unlock the case, pull it from the back. I felt obligated to buy it, so I did, but I didn't mind because I love this perfume, so that's why I have a backup bottle of this. So these first two perfumes, I have backup bottles, not so much out of panic, but because of maybe circumstances or me just loving the scent. But now, let's move on to a bottle that I bought out of a sense of panicking. So now I'm gonna talk about White Patchouli by Tom Ford. So this is what the bottle looks like. So this is another one that kind of came from me having my scent box subscription. I had a subscription to scent box. I chose this one as my perfume of the month. I got it, and my initial reaction to it was just kind of like, oh, it's okay. But then I started layering it with Prada La Femme by Prada, and that combination I loved. I just fell in love with the combination of layering, almost dropped it, White Patchouli with Prada La Femme Intense, actually, not just regular Prada La Femme. So I just kept thinking, I wish I had a bottle of Tom Ford White Patchouli, but Tom Ford is really expensive. And at first when I wanted it, it was available, and I just thought it's too expensive, I can't get it. And I was looking for dupes, and I think Be Layered had a patchouli perfume that I had considered using as a dupe, even though it didn't quite work exactly the same as this. Then this got discontinued, and I was like, I should have just bought a bottle, even though if I had, I wouldn't have paid rent that month. Like, completely irrational. But I ended up, what happened? I got a tax refund. And during that same time, I went to visit my sister, and we went to the local department store near her, Belt, and they had this, even though it had been discontinued. And I was looking at it, and I looked at the batch code, and I realized it was an older bottle, and I was like, I don't even know if they know that this is discontinued. And I was just like, I have to get it. So I bought it. I bought it immediately. And then once I had it home, I was just feeling more panicky, like I need a backup bottle because this is already discontinued. Let me pause to describe what this smells like. So the top notes in here include white flowers, and you can smell the white flowers in here. I don't know what type of white flowers are used. It may be, I don't think it's tuberose. I wouldn't be surprised if it's jasmine. It might be a mixture of jasmine, tuberose, and orange blossom. I'm thinking it's more a mixture of tuberose and jasmine. I don't really think I smell orange blossom here. But in the top notes, you also have coriander, which is a pretty spicy fragrance composition. And you can definitely sense that spiciness in here when you smell it. And then you also have the peony and bergamot. The peony, I can't attest to smelling it, but the bergamot, I think, increases the spiciness, but making it a little sweeter. It's not just that harsh spiciness like you would expect from something like black pepper. But then the middle notes are amber, rose, and jasmine. So again, that just amps up the floral nature of this. It's very floral smelling, but also very much I smell the patchouli. So what this makes me think of when I smell this is a straight up hippie. So this smells like a woman who engages in some alternative activities, whatever you may think that means. But this smells like a woman who engages in alternative activities and feels no shame about it. If you ask her about it, she will say, yes, that's what I do. She won't be embarrassed, and she might even mention it first. I talked about Prada La Femme Intense smelling like a woman who is a assertive, professional woman who used to engage in alternative activities and may still on the low. This one smells like a woman who just blatantly does that still, and she isn't even trying to be a professional woman. She's not trying to have a 9-to-5 job. She probably owns a business, and she doesn't even keep her hours consistently. Like, she probably has hours on the door saying, oh, we're open from 8 to 9. Some days you get there and she's not gonna open up till about 11:30. This just smells like a free-spirited woman who just does what she wants. And maybe that's why I identify with it. because that can be me, even though I've tended to work traditional jobs as far as like a 9-to-5 job, and right now I'm a teacher. There is a part of me that doesn't like following the rules. People who know me know that it can be annoying. So this fits that part of my personality. And the reason I ended up getting a backup bottle of this again is because it's discontinued. So I saw, no, it wasn't one of my fragrance groups on Facebook. I actually saw this on Mercari. I saw that someone had this for sale on Mugler for a really inexpensive price for it to be a discontinued perfume by Tom Ford. So I went ahead and snatched it up. So that's why I have two. Sometimes I feel like maybe I shouldn't have gotten this backup bottle because I don't wear this perfume a lot. Because honestly, because of what it evokes in my mind, it's not a perfume I'm usually gonna wear to work as a teacher because it doesn't really smell like a teacher. So I don't have as many occasions for wearing it. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have gotten a backup bottle, but I love it so much that I don't mind. Okay, so this is what the bottle looks like. Miss Dior, obviously. This is the 2019 version. Miss Dior Eau de Toilette has other formulations that were released in previous years, but the most recent formulation is from 2019. The top notes in this are blood orange and mandarin orange. The middle notes are grass rose, May rose, and lily of the valley, and the base note is patchouli. So I got this because I recently fell in love with the whole Miss Dior line. This smells so good. I initially fell in love with Miss Dior Eau de Parfum 2017. And of course, I fell in love with it after it's been discontinued. But I was watching Alithia, who's gone back to calling her channel The Simple Chic Life, and she had mentioned that Miss Dior Eau de Toilette smells a lot like Miss Dior Eau de Parfum 2017. Yes, so when she said that, I went to Ulta and I bought a bottle. And then I bought a second bottle. So my second bottle, I haven't opened, but the reason I went ahead and got a second bottle is one, because I can tell this is about to go through another reformulation, and because I realized I have a lot of points with Ulta. Once I realized how many points I had with Ulta, I was like, I can afford a second bottle, girl, use those points. So I did. I used my points to get 2 bottles of this Miss Dior Eau de Toilette. To describe what it smells like, if you remember me talking about the fragrance composition, it's heavy on the citruses. Well, not heavy. The top notes are just blood orange and mandarin orange. But basically the top notes are just orange notes. And then the middle notes are 2 types of rose and lily of the valley. I very much can smell that this is a rosy, citrusy perfume with patchouli as the base note. It smells delicious. It smells like a grown, confident, sultry woman. This almost smells like you should be wearing this if you plan on. It smells like you're planning to get your way with your boo, or get your way with your bae, if I want to rhyme. I very much enjoy the bottle design. I don't enjoy this as much as the original Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. Please excuse my nails. I need to repaint them, but I haven't yet. And I also enjoy the houndstooth on the bottom because I'm from Alabama. I'm not a diehard Crimson Tide fan, but if I had to choose, I'm playing. If I had to choose, I would choose Auburn. I'm sorry. But I still identify with the houndstooth composition that is iconic to Alabama fans, because most of my family are Alabama fans. But honestly, if I had to choose, War Eagle. But I still enjoy the houndstooth, and I just enjoy the overall bottle, and I adore the smell. If I had to have a signature scent, I feel like in this season of my life, it would be Miss Dior. It just smells so me. Especially me at this moment. It used to be that any perfume that was going to be my signature perfume would have been a white floral perfume. I'm not quite feeling white florals right now as my signature perfume. I do enjoy wearing them still, but in regards to a signature scent, I'm feeling way more in tune with rose patchouli scents, which is why I just ordered another bottle of a different rose patchouli scent, because I just love that fragrance composition so much that I want other perfumes that have that composition without buying 10,000 bottles of Misty Dior. Because even though I very much love it right now, and I'm glad I have this as a backup bottle, I don't think I want it to be to the point where I have 1,000 bottles of the Misty Dior Eau de Parfum or Eau de Toilette. Speaking of the Eau de Parfum, the last perfume I want to show you all is Misty Dior Eau de Parfum. This is what it looks like. I like this bottle better. I think I just like the rectangular shape better than the square shape. But this one pretty much smells quite similar to the Eau de Toilette. This is Misty Dior Eau de Parfum 2017 from the House of Christian Dior, another sharper floral fragrance for women. Again, it was launched in 2017, and the nose is Francois de Machi. The top notes are pink pepper, blood orange, sweet orange, mandarin orange, and lemon. The middle notes are grass rose, damask rose, and jasmine leaf. And the base notes are patchouli and palisander rosewood. So this one amps up the citrusy, rosy, woody composition. Very citrusy, and not in a orange type of way. And by orange, I mean the color orange. When I smell this, I don't think of the color orange. I still think of a rosy, blushy color when I smell this. It fits the color of the juice. The juice is kind of a blushed amber color, and this smells like a blushed amber composition. The oranges in here are your dark oranges basically. So blood orange, sweet orange, mandarin orange. It has a little bit of brightness with the lemon, but then it has the pink pepper, which isn't a spicy hot smell. It's more of a sweet spicy smell, if spicy at all. But basically pink pepper is not in the same league as white pepper or black pepper. I think pink pepper might actually be technically a fruit. But anyway, all of that attests to the fact that this smells fruity, and it smells rosy, and it smells woody. It's very much a deep perfume, something you should probably wear in cold weather, so it has some thick air to cut through, because if you wear this out in the heat, it may suffocate some people. I can see myself still wearing this out in the heat, but maybe not, since I do have the Eau de Toilette version. So if I'm craving that scent profile, but I don't want to choke anybody out, I would wear Misty Dior 2019 Eau de Toilette. As far as lasting power goes, the House of Dior is kind of controversial. Some people will insist that these last all day, and other people will insist these don't last at all. I think for their fragrance compositions, it's very much about body chemistry. You have to test it out for yourself to see how it plays out on your body. I think the other thing is that these fragrances, whether they last all day or not, when you first spray them, they're very strong. And it might be that they're so strong that you go anosmic to it. It kind of attacks your nose and you might go nose blind. So for those of you who wear this and feel like it doesn't last, have someone else smell you to see if it lasts. Because when I wear the Misty Dior Eau de Toilette, after about 2 hours, I cannot smell it at all. And I start to think, oh, it doesn't last that long. But then someone else will mention that they smell me, or that they can tell I was in the room. What are you wearing? You smell good. So this does get compliments, and it does have a far reach, but I suspect that most people go anosmic to it. This one, I can't smell it after an hour, but I think it's still lasting a long time. It's just that I've gone anosmic to it. So again, I feel like the whole Miss Dior line, you just have to test it out to see how it plays out on your body in regards to lasting power and my throat. Okay. Whew. You just have to test it out in regards to lasting power and performance. I enjoy the performance, I enjoy the smell, and I'm glad I have a backup bottle. I've been tempted to get a third backup bottle, but I resisted, and I decided instead of getting a third backup bottle, I should just focus on having some more perfumes in my collection that have that rosy, woody patchouli smell. And the perfume I've chosen for that is on the way. It's Mancera Wild Rose Oud. So hopefully I'll be doing another video talking to you all about that. But thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you didn't enjoy it, I mean, do as you will, whether you hit the dislike button or just hit the back button. But if you aren't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, then thank you so much for coming back. All right, see you on the next one.